Good evening, sports. Use as a slight edge in the overall intended for the in the stage, and now looking to win an important win and was 93 different ball. Both teams have and
We're in the heart of the Deep South, Starkville, Mississippi, and Davis Wade Stadium is the site for today's football game. Todd is on the field to kick this one off, and everyone in the stadium is ready for this game to get started. He kicks it off, and he got all of that one. This one's going to be down in the end zone for a touchback.
these two teams met. Coach rbark was the coach at Appalachian State. Is in the second half.
So let's see what the offense can do as they come out onto the field. And he's going to be sacked for a loss. From their own 17-yard line. Second down. Looks over the middle, caught by the tailback. And down he goes around the 32-yard line. Nice pickup as they connect on the pass play.
But they look to be in sync right now. They're both reading the defense properly, and the result is a nice gain.
We've got 3rd and 3 here. Ball on their own 32.
Check 13. Check 13. Blue 14. Blue 14.
He steps out at the 34-yard line.
Here is one from the 34 in the early going of this football game. Some is there as wires were crossed in the broadcast booth, and now on 4th and 1 from the 34, Navy elects to punt on their opening drive. Seconds into ball games, early going, and Ewing will set up to boot the ball deep.
He really got a hold of that one.
The punt travels inside the 20. It is caught, and it is a 1-yard return as the coverage was there immediately. Scott Daniels unable to get anything going on the return, and Mississippi State will take over at their own 18 for their opening drive of the football game.
So here comes the offense taking the field for the first time.
Coming out with a 3-3-5. Back to pass looking. And deflected, almost intercepted by Michael Williams. He had good coverage on the halfback. And Dwight Broussard starts out 0 for 1 in the passing category. Not going to be 10. Mississippi State 18.
From their own 18-yard line.
Wide receivers and a tight end break the huddle for the Bulldogs, and Navy responds with a 3-3-5 defense. 2nd and 10. Back to pass, looking and caught by a receiver, Joe Martin, making a 14-yard catch. His first catch of the ball game. First on their opening drive. We're still here. Not even 2 minutes into the ball game, and Mississippi State has first possession at their own 32.
It's 1st and 10.
Out they come. Navy in a 3-3-5. Mississippi State with 11 personnel. No, check that. It is a single back and multiple receivers. Let's give up the cut, and it's good for 3 yards. Steve Brown picks up 3 yards on first down. Now going to be 2nd down, 7 yards to go here in the early going of this scoreless affair. It's an exciting user versus user matchup here in week 6 of season 18 here in League 1. As the 10th ranked Navy midshipmen make the trip down south to Starkville, Mississippi, take on rbark and his Mississippi Bulldogs. 2nd and 7. Mississippi State shows 11 personnel. Navy 3-5. Back to pass is Mississippi State. Caught by out of the backfield. There's a flag of play mask on false Ryan. That's going to give the 2nd first down to Mississippi State. Out of their own.
From the 47-yard line. 1st down. Play clock is getting low. They'll bring him down at the 46. Pickup of a yard for the tailback.
That brings up 2nd and 9.
Second down and 9 to go. Ball on the 46-yard line. They come out in an empty back.
Mississippi State in a spread set. We're about halfway through the first quarter. Mississippi State barely into Navy territory and caught by Joe Martin with a 2-yard catch. That's going to bring up 3rd and long, 7 yards to go if Mississippi State wants to continue their opening drive. They need to get 7 or more against this staunch Navy defense.
Down now, and they need to get it down to the 37.
3rd and 7. Mississippi State comes out with 11 personnel, 3-3-5 by Navy. Back to pass is Broussard looking out to the sideline, and Brown makes the catch and falls out of bounds. Only good for 1 yard past the sideline. That's going to bring up 4th and 6 from the 43. We'll see what Mississippi State elects to do here. We're in a scoreless game, and they bring the punting unit out on the field. A reminder to our viewers, in League One, you're allowed 12 first downs in their regular season. Spend them as you will, but you budget them. Mississippi State elects not to go, although they do get a flag on the play. It's going to be a delay of game. It's going to bring up 4th and 6 instead of 4th and 1. It's going to move Mississippi State back 5 yards. And they will punt from the Navy 43-yard line. Definitely punting now. No fake having moved backwards 5 yards. And Navy will get the ball back for their second possession of the ball game. Punt is up and into the end zone it goes. Navy will take over at the punt position of the ball game.
This is a fun game, and I think we're going to see a lot of
2:44 remaining quarter. 4 down. Is just carrying a little bit of jitters here on the road. Now out the backfield is Black in the flat. Second down and 8 yards to go when the team once again.
from their own 22-yard line.
22-yard pass where the ball is spotted. 8 the down and distance. Navy comes out with 2 tight ends and I.
Caught with room to work. Very good tackle in space.
Tight end making a 20 catch. Half of Navy's passing yards. As Rand comes up with his first big pass for the midshipmen, taking the ball out to the 42-yard line, where the midshipmen will have a 1st and 10 coming up next. It's a bright sunny day here with mostly clear skies here in Starkville, Mississippi. Not a whole lot of wind, a perfect day for some football. Navy comes out with 11 personnel, 3 wide receivers, a halfback and a tight end. Mississippi State. Back to pass is Peter Moss looking and rolling to his left, trying to find some ground.
He's hit before he can go anywhere.
Dave Fuller making a 16-yard catch. It's going to be a 1st down for Navy as Peter Moss able to buy enough time for Fuller to get open, running right to left across your radio dial. Now going to be 1st and 10 for Navy. It's their first foray into Mississippi State territory.
We've got a 1st and 10.
1:32 and counting on the clock here in the opening frame. Scoreless so far in the early going. I-type formation for Navy. 4 down linemen from Mississippi State. Moss under center, surveying the field. As he goes and throwing to the right to Williams. He makes the catch, picks up 6 on 1st down, and John Williams composes his way to a positive gain, bringing up 2nd and short for the midshipmen here from the Mississippi State 30-yard line.
So it's 2nd down now, and they need about 4 yards to pick up the 1st. middle for a nice gain.
Great job here converting,
Enough for the
keeping his
first
defense
ball
on the field.
twice.
It's getting very tired.
You're within seconds of the first quarter.
From the 32-yard line. First down.
Set. 36.
Complete. He's got room. And he shoved out of bounds right around the 16-yard line.
Nice throw to hit the out route against man coverage for a first down.
First down, 10 to go. Ball on the 16. And he makes it out to about the 14-yard line. So at the end of one, still no score. And we welcome you back to the action here. Just about set to start the second quarter.
Now here on second down, 8 yards to go, as Navy has moved the ball down inside the 15-yard line. Back to pass is Moss, looking over the middle of the field to Bright. It's caught for a 5-yard reception.
That makes it 3rd and 3.
It's going to bring up 3rd down, 3 yards to go from the 9-yard line. Locked here in a scoreless affair. We're into the second quarter. Navy driving at the Bulldog 9-yard line.
We're at play number 9 of this current drive.
Out of the huddle they come. It is 3 down linemen from Mississippi State. Moss still getting his feet underneath him in a shotgun set. Back to pass is Moss, looking, and caught by Reggie Henry for 4 yards.
I think it's another good example about how important it is to have an awareness about you as a wide receiver. The wide receiver did a really good job of knowing exactly where the first down marker was, and he made sure to get the route at least to that point, so when he made
First
the catch
and goal from the 5-yard line for the midshipmen. 7:16 remains in the second quarter.
Number 10 on the drive.
Mississippi State comes out with a heavy set, and Navy has 11 personnel on the field. Let's see what they do. Peter Moss making machinations at the line of scrimmage. Back to pass, and caught in the end zone by Drew Mays.
Yeah, they've had some success in their short passing
First
game, so they
points
felt
of the ball
confident
game.
they can make that play work down inside the 10.
Navy with a 6-point lead. He makes the PAT.
Kick is up, and it goes between the pipes, and Navy holds a 7-0 lead here in Starkville, Mississippi. The Bulldogs set to receive the kickoff. They'll have an opportunity here on offense.
Has the ball all teed up, and he's ready to kick this one off. sends it sailing downfield. And it sails out of the end zone for a touchback.
It travels out of the back of the end zone. That means that the Bulldogs will take over at their own 25-yard line. There's just under 7 minutes remaining. As these two teams have been feeling themselves out. Navy striking first. Mississippi State here looking to respond.
Momentum swings have been fairly even. And with so little separation, this game can be drastically changed on just one or two plays.
Spread set for Mississippi State. Back to pass and looking and caught, but then dropped. Right, Broussard's second incompletion of the day brings up 2nd and 10 from the 25-yard line.
From their own
6:55 to go. Mississippi State breaks the huddle at their own 25-yard line. Facing 2nd and 10. They have 11 personnel. Navy with 3-3-5. Back to pass is Broussard. It's over the middle, complete. Steve Brown with a 4-yard reception. That's going to bring up 3rd down, 6 yards to go from the 29-yard line. As Mississippi State trying to throw punch for punch with the 10th ranked Navy midshipmen who hold a 1-score lead here in the first half.
Third down, 6 to go.
6:20 and counting as Mississippi State breaks the huddle. They have a spread set. It's a 3-3-5 for Navy. Broussard in a shotgun formation. Back to pass he goes, looking, and caught and tackled short of the first down. Joe Martin picks up 4 yards, but it's going to be 2 yards short of the first down. It's the 33-yard line. We shall see. In fact, Mississippi State brings out the punting unit. It's a stop by the midshipmen.
Todd is waiting for the snap.
It is a 3 and out by the midshipmen defense.
He drops it.
Deflected, caught, and stumbled, and Jones recovers it. Navy simply happy to have the football after the punt and some miscues by the special teams. They'll take over with 1st and 10 on their own 20-yard line, ahead by 1 score.
With 1 quarter down, I really haven't seen too
5:22 on the clock, 4 down linemen for Mississippi State, and Navy coming out with 11 personnel. Peter Moss surveying the defense, drops back to pass, hits Bright out of the backfield in the flat. Bright picking up 7 yards on 1st down, now going to be 2nd and short for the midshipmen as Peter Moss completes the pass.
Second down, and they're going to need about 3 yards to pick up the first down.
They break the huddle for 2nd and 3. It's a shotgun split big for the midshipmen, facing off against 4 down linemen from Mississippi State. Option play, and Moss is wrapped up. It's the loss of 1. Going to be 3rd and 4 here for the midshipmen. We're about halfway through the second quarter. Your 10th ranked Navy midshipmen lead Mississippi State 7-0. Big 3rd and 4 coming here for the midshipmen and Peter Moss. Shotgun set, 4 receivers, 1 tight end. 3-3-5 defense for Mississippi State. Back to pass goes Moss, looking out to the left side. Caught by Mays. Mays breaks the tackle. Defenders on the scene, but not before Drew Mays picks up 15 yards on his second catch. He had Navy's touchdown on a 5-yard catch. Now he's up 2 catches, 20 yards, 1 touchdown, and a big conversion there on 3rd down. 42-yard line of the midshipmen at exactly the halfway point of the second quarter. Navy ahead 7-0 on the road, trying to extend the lead here in Starkville, Mississippi on a bright sunny day.
Ball on the 42-yard
4 down linemen for Mississippi State. 11 personnel for Navy. 3:42 and counting. Moss back to pass, looking and throws to Henry. Reggie Henry, the star tight end, making a 6-yard catch on 1st down. That's his 4th catch for 46 yards, and it's going to set up Navy with a 2nd and 4, nearing the midfield stripe.
They're about 4 yards away here on 2nd down.
Out of the huddle they come. It's 3 down linemen for Mississippi State. It's 5 receivers for Navy. Moss in a shotgun set, takes the snap, drops back, looking. Wide receiver stumbles, makes the catch. There's a flag on the play. Let's see who it's on. It's roughing the passer by Michael Myers. Michael Myers, a horror film of a penalty for the Bulldogs. And that's going to give Navy a 1st down on the Mississippi State 36-yard line. 1st and 10, 3 minutes to go in half. Navy ahead by 1 score, 11 personnel on the field. Peter Moss in a shotgun set. Back to pass he goes, looking and throwing to Bright. This time the defense ready for it. It's the 1st incompletion by Peter Moss. It's going to result in 2nd and long for Navy.
So it's 2nd and 10.
2nd down, 10 yards to go, 36-yard line the marker. Navy approaching 2nd and 10 with 2:46 on the clock in the 1st half. They have 11 personnel in a shotgun normal halfback week. Back to pass is Moss, looking, and caught by Mays. Drew Mays, another big catch, this time 16 yards. He's up to 3 catches, 36 yards and a touchdown. His first catch was only 5 yards, but it was worth 6 points. His last 2 catches have been big catches that have converted 1st downs for the midshipmen. Drew Mays coming up big here in the late 1st, early 2nd quarter. 20-yard line now. Navy approaching on the precipice of Mississippi State's red zone. The ball at exactly the 20-yard line. Moss with 11 personnel, 4 down linemen from Mississippi State.
Check three.
Peter Moss surveys the defense, takes the snap, gives the handoff out the gut, and Joe Bright, met by 2 defenders, only gets a yard. Going to be 2nd and long here At the 2-minute mark at the 19-yard line, both teams with their full complement of timeouts.
From the 19-yard line, it's second down.
Out of the huddle they come. Navy coming out with 11 personnel once again. 4 down linemen once again from Mississippi State. Second down, 9 yards to go from the 19-yard line. Peter Moss in a shotgun set. Surveys the defense. Back to pass he goes. Looking and caught over the middle. There was a defender there, but he wasn't able to react in time. He was in the right place when the ball was thrown, but by the time it arrived, he was a step or two behind the receiver. And it's complete to Joe Bright over the middle for a first down for the midshipmen. Now with 1:26 and counting on the clock. First and goal from the 9-yard line.
Hoping to go up 2 touchdowns here. Navy is up.
High, tight formation for the midshipmen. 4 down linemen for Mississippi State. Moss under center. Looking over the field. Taking his time. Now back to pass. Looking, and throwing to the sideline. Caught by John Williams.
Usually you get a linebacker
He
covering
makes
the
the
tight
catch,
end.
composes
So they might wanna try
himself,
some longer
and gets
passes
2
to
yards.
exploit that mismatch.
It's now going to be second and goal from the 8 with 1:02, 62 seconds left in the first half.
And this is the 11th play of the current drive.
Out of the huddle they come. It's about the 7.5-yard line. Navy coming out with tight end and 4 receivers. 3 down linemen, Mississippi State. Moss surveys the field. He drops back, looks. Caught over the middle by B.J. Fuller. B.J. Fuller falls.
It's all about the receiver.
Touchdown,
on this
midshipmen.
play.
They have a
He beat his man off
2-score
the line and
lead.
then ran up
There's
court.
not much time
All
on
he
the
had to
clock
do after that was make the catch.
as they take a 13-0 lead and winning the extra point.
And he tacked
Kick
down
is
the
up
extra
and
point.
good. It's 14-0 Navy. There are 58 seconds remaining in the first half. Both teams still with their full complement of timeouts.
Excellent kick.
Ewing kicks it deep. It goes out of the
And
back
they
of
can
the end
forget about
zone.
returning this one.
And Mississippi State will take over at their 25, trailing by 2 scores.
The defense shut them down on their last drive, forcing a quick
First
punt.
and 10 from the 25. It is a 3-down lineman set from Navy. It is a spread set by Mississippi State. Back to pass goes Broussard. Looking and caught over the middle and short of the first down. With 52 seconds, the clock begins to move.
That is a
But
great example
Mississippi
of
State
the
calls their
quarterback
first
seeing the whole
timeout to
field and
stop the
finding
clock.
guy who had the best chance
And
of
now
making a
faces
catch.
second and inches from their 35 following the 9.5-yard gain.
So it's second down, and they're only about a foot away.
Second and inches. 51 ticks on the clock.
Wide set.
It's a two-score ball game here in the first half. The dying embers of the first half. Spread set by Mississippi State. Back to pass. Looking. Doesn't like what he sees. And now throwing deep. Caught deep. It's a 28-yard catch by Kevin Rhodes with 42 seconds left. The Navy defenders only able to cover the pass for so long, and Mississippi State able to buy enough time for someone to get open. Still 2 timeouts for the Bulldogs, 41 seconds and counting. Caught underneath, tackled quickly, 36 seconds left. Mississippi State uses their second timeout as the pass was short of the first down. Now the ball at Navy's 33-yard line. Some of the deepest penetration to date by the Bulldog offense here in the 2-minute drill, but they are still not far enough down the field given their personnel. Navy defense trying to stiffen with 35 seconds left. It is 2nd and 6 from the 33 when we break the huddle.
It's 2nd and 6. Ball on the 33.
37-yard line, 36 officially, but it's closer to 37 as Mississippi State comes out on 2nd and 6 with a spread set. Looking and throwing over the middle of the field, caught inside the 15-yard line. Joe Martin comes up with a 20-yard catch. With 30 seconds left, Mississippi State goes no huddle with 1 timeout remaining. It's 1st and 10 from about the 12-yard line of the midshipmen. Back to pass quickly. Looking, surveying the field.
He's in trouble.
Doesn't like what he sees, and then throws an interception. Heavy coverage, throws on the run, an ill-advised pass. A throwaway or a sack would have been advisable there. They were driving. They tried to force it. They tried to score intentionally on the play. The defense, the coverage was too good. Mississippi State takes one play to get a little greedy, and it goes horribly against them. Now with 22 seconds left in the half, inside the 10-yard line, Navy comes out in a shotgun split big. Mississippi State had at least a field goal. They had the ball, they were moving, they still had a timeout remaining. There was no good look on the play, and instead of moving on to the next play, Mississippi State tries to force it, and you cannot force the ball against a good team. Navy coming up with a huge turnover.
We've still got a half of football remaining.
A huge interception against Mississippi State in favor of Navy, and we will pause for 6 minutes. As we go to the halftime, we will take a look at the game stats with the number 10 Navy midshipmen leading 14-10 on the road. We will be back very shortly. Navy will kick off to start the second half, but they hold a 2-score lead. Ready when you are, sir. Ready, sir. Yeah. Ronnie says he's ready.
And we welcome you back to the action here. Just about set for the
Now
second
set to get the second half underway as Navy holds a 14-0 lead
half. Nice kick, plenty of
following a
distance.
huge turnover in the red zone just before the half.
And it goes into
Mississippi
the end zone,
State
down
bends
for
the
a
knee.
touchback.
They will start at their own 25, facing a 2-score deficit, but they do have possession.
There's got to be some sense of urgency.
25-yard
right
line,
now.
the marker.
They don't have the luxury of
3-3-5
wasting
defense for
drives if
Navy.
they want to
11
get back into the
personnel
game.
for Mississippi State. Broussard audibles at the line of scrimmage. Drops back, throws in the flat, caught by Chris Boyd for 3 yards. That'll be 2nd and 7 for Mississippi State here in the early stages of the second half. Your 10th ranked Navy midshipmen holding a 2-score lead. Mississippi State at their own 28, just seconds into the third quarter. 11 personnel for Mississippi State, 3-3-5 for Navy. Back to pass goes Broussard, and throwing on the corner route, caught. Joe Martin makes the catch despite 2 defenders being in close proximity. He had a step on both of them, and it was enough to make the catch and give the Bulldogs a first down at their own 42-yard line. Clock now moving, 7:16 to go in the third. Navy ahead 14-0. Out of the huddle they come. It is a 3-3-5 for Navy. It is 11 personnel once again for both teams. The same personnel packages. This time it's a 2-yard gain up the gut for Steve Brown. Just his third carry of the game for 6 yards. And that brings up 2nd and 8 from Mississippi State's 44-yard line. We're about 80 seconds into the second half. In the early stages of the third quarter, the Bulldogs, with a large hill, if not a mountain to climb, here in the third quarter. 44-yard line is where the ball rests.
From their own 44-yard line.
Towards the middle of the field is where it's positioned. 11 personnel for Mississippi State, 3-3-5 for Navy. Back to pass and sack. Dwight Broussard sacked for a loss of 9. Huge play by the Navy defense.
Care of his offensive lineman. But after that play and that hit, you really got to be wondering what kind of relationship this quarterback and his offensive lineman have after that.
Now going to be 3rd and 17 from the 35. And while the halftime break blunted the momentum of Navy, Mississippi State doesn't necessarily depend on converting here, but it would go a long way to getting them back into the ball game. Big 3rd and 17 coming here.
There are 5 wide receivers split out. The quarterback in the gun.
Back to pass is Broussard, looking, surveying the field, and chucking it very deep and caught.
The 19-yard line.
A huge gain, a crucial gain, a big 3rd and 17 converted. Dwight Broussard finds his man way downfield, and just like that, this 14-0 ball game finds us with Mississippi State in possession of the football with a 1st and 10 in Navy's red zone. One play changes everything on this particular drive. Mississippi State with 1st and 10 now in the Navy 19, still in the early going of the third quarter.
So after the big pass play, we've got a first down.
3-3-5 defense by the midshipmen. Single back set this time for Mississippi State. Back to pass, looking and thrown and caught, and it's a first down. Kevin Rhodes, an 11-yard completion is going to give Mississippi State 1st and goal. The last time they were this deep in the red zone, they threw a pick. We'll see what each team does given this scenario. It's a no huddle by Mississippi State. Broussard drops back, doesn't have anywhere to go, throws it into the stands. What they should have done on the interception play, they do here. They apparently have learned their lesson. And now both teams live to fight another play. Mississippi State loses it down in the process. It's now 2nd and goal from the 8. 5:26 on the clock here in the third quarter. The midshipmen leading by 2 touchdowns.
Here's the 8th play of the series.
8-yard line, the marker, right hash, the spot of the ball. Mississippi State comes out in 11 personnel. It is a 3-3-5 bear look by Navy. Back to pass is Broussard, looking and out to the sideline. It is a diving deflection by the star safety, Ryan Downs. And that's going to force 3rd down, 3rd and goal from the 8.
down. They need 8 yards here to get the ball in the end zone.
Out of the huddle they come. 3 down linemen, no 2. After Flynn moves out wide, he becomes the third. Broussard drops back and throws. It's caught. It's short of the goal line. Kevin Rhodes picks up 5 of the 8. And it's no huddle here for Mississippi State on 4th down.
Quarterback all by himself.
Trying to catch Navy off guard. Broussard, machination to the line, drops back and caught for the touchdown on 4th down. Joe Martin makes the catch, and it is a 1-score ball game. The extra point will make it a 7-point game. 3 minutes into the third quarter. A lot of ball game left, 13 minutes remaining on the clock. Mississippi State pulls within 7. Assuming the extra point goes between the uprights. The kick is up and good, and on the opening drive of the second half, Mississippi State finally breaks into paint, gets their first points of the game, and turns this into a 1-score game. Navy set to receive.
Sails out of the end zone for a touchback.
It goes out of the end zone, and the midshipmen will take over at their own 25, ahead by 7, approaching the midway point of the third quarter. Still a lot of ball game left. Navy now on offense.
It's a new possession for this offense, so what will it hold? Navy.
Out of the huddle they come. 11 personnel by Navy, 4 down linemen for Mississippi State. Both teams being consistent with 11 personnel on offense. 3 down linemen in a 3-3-5 for Navy, and 4 down linemen for Mississippi State on a fairly regular basis. Now, after the 5-yard completion, going to be 2nd and 5 from the 30. Navy with the ball and the lead here in the second half. Coming to you live from beautiful Starkville, Mississippi. Water tower in the distance.
From their own
a nice, clear day, a good day for football here on this natural grass in Starkville. Eye-tight formation, audible on defense. Moss making changes at the line. Up the gut to Bright. Falls forward for an extra 2 yards. Turns 7 into 9. It's a first down for the midshipmen. Approaching the midway point of the third quarter. 1st and 10 for Navy at their own 39-yard line, holding a 1-score lead.
From their own 39-yard line.
4 down linemen for Mississippi State. 11 personnel for Navy. 1st and 10. Let's see what happens. Moss up the gut to Bright. Bright finding some running room. Picking up 6 yards on 1st down. Now going to be 2nd and short as we cross the midway threshold of the third quarter. Navy facing 2nd and 4 at their own 45-yard line. Ahead by 7.
They're about 4 yards away here on 2nd down.
Out of the huddle they come. 4 down linemen for Mississippi State. 11 personnel for Navy. 3:26 and counting in the third. Moss drops back. Looking, evades a tackler, evades another tackler, throws across his body. He may have been trying to make a running move, but the result of the play is a touchdown. I'm not sure what was intended on the play, but I know the result. I saw it with my own eyes. It is a touchdown for the Navy midshipmen, and they take a 2-score lead as Peter Moss throws across his body all the way across the field. The receiver makes the catch, finds his way into the end zone, and Navy with a commanding 13-point lead.
And he converts the extra point.
Any coach will tell you it's better to be lucky than good. Don't know what the intent was on that play, but I certainly know the result. Navy ahead by 14, 3:11 left in the third quarter.
He just drills
Mississippi
this one.
State now fighting momentum as
And they
well
can forget
as the
about
clock
returning this one.
potentially. Not quite yet fighting the clock, but I assure you they are certainly cognizant of it. 25-yard line is where the Bulldogs will take over the football. They trail 21-7. There's 11:11 remaining in the football game.
They moved the ball very effectively on their last drive, which ended with a
3-3-5 defense for Navy. Spread set for Mississippi State. Broussard drops back, looking, and throws out to the left. Caught positive yardage, 4 yards for Kevin Rhodes to get this drive underway.
5 wide.
Mississippi State goes no huddle.
Boy, was he drilled as he
Broussard
let go of
lucky
that
to get the
football.
pass off before he was sacked. It bounces off the helmet of a defender and falls harmless to the turf. Third down, 6 yards to go. The 29-yard line is where the ball rests. Navy trying not to rest on a 14-point lead here in the second half. 11 personnel for Mississippi State, 3-3-5 for Navy. Back to pass goes Broussard, looking and caught over the middle and then dropped. Broussard's pass was caught in traffic, but the receiver unable to make the catch, and it looks like once again Mississippi State's going to go no huddle and try to convert a 4th down here. There's been a couple of instances where they've gone no huddle. It's worked to their effect. Let's see what happens here. Broussard allowing time to pass, trying to get a rest for key players. Navy trying to guess what they might do.
They just didn't get the snap off in time. Here's the call.
It's a flag on the play. Mississippi State looks like they may have been holding down the Y button on the previous play. That's what resulted in the no huddle effect. And Coach rbark decides he does not want to go for this particular 4th down, perfectly willing to take the penalty and punt the football away, save the 4th down attempt. Those are precious here in League One. And he's going to rely on his defense to come up with a play here and get his team back in the game. The punting unit puts the ball deep into Navy territory. It's down at the 5-yard line. And while Navy holds a 2-score lead, a mistake here could get Mississippi State right back into the ball game. The 5-yard line, the marker, 2:34 remaining in the third quarter.
did a really good job in the last drive of finding his receivers in space, and I bet he'll be looking
Out
to
of
do
the
the
middle
same
they come.
thing
It's an
again.
eye tight for Navy. Moss under center. Machinations at the line of scrimmage. The give to Bright up the gut.
At the 8-yard
Bright
line.
tackled. He picks
Maybe
up 3
yards on
though.
that run.
There's
Now
the
going to be
junior
2nd
quarterback
and
making a
7.
very solid stop. Anytime your
That's
corners can
only
contribute
Bright's
like that
6th
against the run,
carry of the
it gives
game.
the defense another advantage.
He picked up 3, turns it into 2nd and 7. 2 more of those, and Navy will be flirting with a first down.
Second down and 7.
2nd down,
On the
7
8-yard
yards
line.
to go, 2:12 left in the third. Navy comes out in 11 personnel. Bright on Moss's right hip. 4 down linemen for the Bulldogs. Back to pass goes Moss. Looking, finds Bright out of the backfield.
He's
Tackled
around
short of the first
12-yard
down.
line.
Picks up 4 yards. Now going to be 3rd down and 3 yards to go from the 12-yard line. Looks like Navy has decided on their play call. It's 3rd and 3 from their own 12-yard line. 1:30 to go in the third quarter. Navy breaks the huddle. They have a spread set this time. Mississippi State responding in kind. Moss in a shotgun set, surveying the defense. Back to pass he goes, and caught on the left side. Drew Mays coming up with another clutch catch, as Peter Moss is 22 out of 23 passing. We have refrained from mentioning his high percentage up to this point, but at this point, it can no longer be ignored. Any good sports commentator would have remarked on it a quarter ago. But Peter Moss, so far, 22 out of 23, a lot of game left to go. He's going to have to maintain that as Navy holds their 2-score lead. Single back set. Moss looking, caught by Reggie Henry. Henry's got the first down, breaks the tackle, tries a spin move, but is tackled, but not before he picks up 23 yards on the play out to the 42-yard line. This drive began on Navy's 5-yard line, and now with 43 seconds and ticking, the midshipmen have a 1st and 10 from their own 42. Mississippi State desperate to get a stop here. The Bulldog defense needs to make a play. Navy's offense needs to not make a huge mistake.
From their own 42-yard line.
1st and 10, right hash mark from the 42-yard line. 5 receivers out for Navy. Moss in a shotgun set. Back to pass he goes, looking and caught over the middle. It's a face mask on the play. He was tackled immediately, but the face mask against Jeff Collins will give Navy the first down in Mississippi State territory. They have a 14-point lead. They have the ball game. They have the ball. They have possession of the football, rather. And we are approaching the closing seconds of the third quarter. We'll see if Navy wants to get a basketball look. We'll see if they want to look at the defense and decide if they want to run a play from the Mississippi State 40-yard line. They break the huddle. They're in an eye normal. They do give it up the gut to Bright, and he is tackled after a gain of 2. That's going to be the final play.
Good job by the junior linebacker to read the run
Navy with a
and limit the
2-score
play
lead
to a
and
short
the
gain.
football.
That's 3 down and 1
Trying
to
to
go.
hold on here
Navy's
in
lead is 2
Starkville,
touchdowns.
Mississippi. as the Navy defense 2 times has been able to stiffen deep in their own territory. Once with a stop on 4th down here in the 3rd quarter, and once right before the half with a huge turnover. There was at least a 7-point swing in this ball game. The Navy red zone defense coming up with a massive play right before the break that kept Mississippi State out of the end zone. And now with possession to start the 4th quarter, Navy ahead by 14 in Mississippi State territory. Back to pass goes Moss, looking, caught by Bright. Bright gets good yardage. It's going to be 3rd and inches as we approach 7.5 minutes remaining in the game. Navy with the football, Navy with a 2-score lead. Mississippi State needs more than anything to get a stop, and soon.
This is the 8th play of this drive.
3rd and inches. Less than 7.5 remaining in the game. Eye tight for Navy. Quarterback sneak by Peter Moss. He converts. It's going to be a fresh set of downs for the midshipmen from the Mississippi State 28-yard line, ahead by 14 points. A little bit more than 7 minutes remaining in the ball game. Navy in possession of the lead and the football.
First and 10. Ball on the 28-yard line.
Out of the huddle they come. 11 personnel for Navy, 4 down linemen for Mississippi State, as has been the case all game. Up the gut to Joe Bright. Tackled, but not before he picks up 4. Going to be second and approachable inside the 7-minute mark from the Bulldog 24-yard line. Even a field goal here by Navy would stake out a 3-score lead. And the clock, very much so, beginning to become a factor in favor of the midshipmen.
2nd and 6. Ball on the 24.
2nd down, 6 yards to go. Moss in a shotgun set. The give up the gut to Bright. He's got the first down and more. Picks up an extra 6-7 yards. And just like that, Navy matriculating the ball down the field has a 1st and 10 at the Bulldog 13-yard line. A shade over 6 minutes remaining in the ball game.
We've got a 1st and 10.
13-yard line, the marker. Moss in a shotgun set. Looks over the defense. He's got Bright off his right hip. Back to pass he goes, and he is sacked.
Boy, Brad, that was a big hit.
Peter Moss sacked as Mississippi State's defense comes up with one of their biggest plays on this drive. It's going to force Navy into 2nd and 18 from the 21-yard line. Still well within field goal range. 21-7 midshipmen.
We're at the 12th play of the drive.
3 down linemen this time for Mississippi State. 2nd and 18 for Navy. Moss dropping back, looking, and throws to Bright, and he is into the end zone. The fourth touchdown pass of the day for Peter Moss. He's only had one incompletion. And Peter Moss, with a 95+% passing completion rate, leads Navy down the field once again. And the extra point will make this a 3-touchdown ball game with just a hair over 5 minutes remaining.
In the fourth quarter, and the score is 28-7, Navy. Navy ready to kick this one off. He really got a hold of that kick.
Kick is up and into the end zone. It goes. Mississippi State bends the knee, and with 5:09 left, they have all 3 timeouts, but they need 3 touchdowns in 5 minutes. Peter Moss, in fact, 26 out of 27 on the day. Potentially, if things continue as they are, his finest performance in a midshipman uniform. 26 out of 27, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. Navy taking full advantage over what Mississippi State had to offer on defense today. Bulldogs now in full desperation mode. 5:09 on the clock. They need 3 scores, 3 touchdowns, in fact.
The offense is looking to be a little bit more successful.
They need quick scores and quick stops. It's a lot to ask for. Let's see what happens. Back to pass goes Broussard. Throwing an incomplete after contact. Ball falling harmless to the turf. Broussard now 17 out of 25. Not a bad percentage for Broussard, 17 out of 25, but paling in comparison to Peter Moss's 26 out of 27.
Second and 10. Ball on their own 25.
3-3-5 defense for Navy. Mississippi State facing 2nd and 10. Back to passes Broussard, looking deep, throwing deep, and deflected deep by the Navy defense. Now going to be 3rd and 10 from the 25-yard line. 2 plays, 0 yards for the Bulldog offense. Exactly 300 seconds remaining.
It's 3rd and 10.
The Bulldogs facing a 3rd and 10.
They'll line up with 5 wide receivers.
Back to passes Broussard, looking and throwing deep, caught deep, and then dropped deep. It's now going to be 4th and 10. And with a 21-point deficit, one would expect, indeed, Mississippi State surrendering. They will punt the football, and this prognosticator would predict that they are more than content to let Navy run out the rest of the clock. The midshipmen in a comfortable 28-7 lead. Mississippi State surrendering the football, electing not to go for the 4th down.
He's to the 40.
Decent return by Navy across the 50-yard line. Looked to be a pretty good return, in fact, more than 15 yards, more than likely. Navy will take over 1 yard into Mississippi State territory, holding a 21-point lead. Only 4:44 on the clock. Let's see how these two teams interact with the situation.
Both teams are well aware that a score on this drive is going to create an almost insurmountable lead. This defense has really got to step it up and make a stop. quickly. The 10. He's all the way. Touchdown.
Clock keeper just keep it moving for Kirk and I. William, we want to get out of here.
Anticipating that Mississippi State play the run. Calls a play-action pass. Gets the touchdown to Reggie Henry on a big play.
Navy with a big advantage. He makes the PAT. So with under 5 minutes to go here in the fourth, the score, Navy 35, Mississippi State 7. And it looks like they're ready for the kickoff.
35-7, Michigan holding a 4-score lead. Thanks to that to Reggie
He kicks it
Henry.
off, and he got all of that one.
They don't take too much
And
time.
it sails out of the end zone for a touchback.
They extend the lead 21 points to 28 points. And now Mississippi State will take over the football with 4:36 on the clock.
We're late in the fourth quarter. This game has been a blowout for quite some time, and Kirk and I are just looking to make our flights.
Quarterback all by himself in the backfield with 5 wide out. Complete. He's got room. He's taken down to the 38-yard line.
With 4.5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, Mississippi State trails by 28 points. Thanks to the passing play by Navy on the previous drive.
Going over the middle, intercepted. They'll bring him down right around the 36-yard line. And for downs, he's been an interception machine since day one.
He's really honed his technique over time, but his instincts and ball hawking abilities have never changed.
Ryan Downs with a pick. It's going to be 1st and 10 from the 36. Let's see how much salt Navy wants to rub into the wound.
From the 36-yard line, it's first down.
First down on that previous
Navy
drive.
looking to put this game away if they score here.
And once again, it's a pass on
Got his man. Can't tack on any yardage.
Joe Bryant with the reception. Navy throwing on first down once again. With a large margin here halfway through the fourth quarter.
They need about 3 yards to get the first here on second down.
35-7. Navy with the lead by a huge margin in the football. Facing 2nd and 3.
And he's down at the 22. There's a flag down, and it looks like this one's coming back.
Clipping is the call, going to be 2nd and 18. Navy will have to suffer the rare indignity of facing a 2nd and long, leading by 28.
Second down and a ways to go because of the penalty.
They break the huddle
Empty
quickly.
backfield, quarterback in the gun. 5 wide
Stretch
receivers.
set by the midshipman.
Blue 14.
Back to pass is Moss looking and caught on the slant route. B.J. Fuller making the reception. He gets most of the yardage back. Now going to be 3rd and short. Just a hair over 3 minutes remaining. Navy leads by 28 with the ball at Mississippi State's 27-yard line.
It's 3rd down, and this offense is about 3 feet away from that first down marker.
3 down.
Less than 3 minutes in the game.
11 personnel for Navy. Moss over the middle to Reggie Henry. He makes the catch,
Around the 20-yard
converts
line.
the first down. Clock continuing to move. Navy holding a huge 28-point lead. They have the ball at the 20-yard line and now do indeed abide by the rules of League One, changing the clock to conservative. That's one of the bylaws of League One, with an 18-point or more lead in the fourth quarter. Navy now going to clock chewing mode. Could have gone to it on the previous possession, elected not to do so. And now with 2:15 remaining, Navy holding a 28-point lead with an eye tight on first and 10.
At the 18-yard line.
That's good for a gain of 2 yards.
Bright up the gut,
Second and 8.
2nd and 8. Navy trying to find the off switch as their offense has worked like a charm since the second quarter. Difficult to find the off switch. The motivation there
Second
for
down,
Navy
2 yards
to
go.
continue to get
On the
first
18-yard line.
downs. But at this point, this prognosticator predicts that Navy would like nothing more than for time to melt off the clock.
The D-line did a good
Now
job of
facing
nullifying
3rd
out
and
the blocks
11.
up front, and that allowed the
Mississippi
linebackers
State
to roam free
chooses
and
not
mix
to
attack
call
in
the
backfield.
timeout. More than happy to let time melt away.
And once again, they'll come to the line trying to convert.
Navy
third down.
still looking for the first down, ahead by 28. Comes out in a spread set on 3rd and 11. Back to pass is Moss, rolling to his left, and
Well, a nice
gets
job
past
late
a
in the
couple of
fourth quarter.
tacklers.
This game, quite frankly,
The
has been
final
over for a
tackler
long
brings
time.
him down just in bounds. That'll keep the clock moving here on 4th and 10. Navy will add a field goal here from the 20-yard line.
So
It'll
the
be a
field goal unit
37-yard
gets on the field.
attempt.
They'll try for 3 points.
High pressure situation
Already
for
up big,
Ewing.
and this could make the lead bigger. Kicks up.
Kick is up and good. And thankfully, that extends the lead to 31 points with 37 seconds remaining.
They line up to kick this one away.
Those 3 points could benefit Navy in some way before the end of the season.
He sends this one deep. He's to the 10.
37 seconds left as Mississippi State brings the ball out of the end zone. They will take over with a 1st and 10 at about their 17-yard line. Navy having extended their lead 2 times here late in the fourth quarter from 28-7 to 38-7. Fortunately.
Early in the fourth quarter here.
34 seconds on the clock.
In this situation,
Mississippi State coming out in a spread set. Back to pass, looking, and Broussard throws an interception to Booker.
At about the 21.
Booker coming up with the 3rd turnover of the day for the midshipmen. That should do it. Booker with the 3rd turnover. And Navy lining up in victory formation. They've decided they have enough points. And now at 38-7 with 28 seconds left, Moss will bend the knee. Navy
Takes a knee.
with a dominant performance. It was the Navy defense coming up time and time again, but no bigger play than just before the half. Mississippi State trying to draw within 7. Made a huge error throwing it into coverage, and the Navy red zone defense answered the call. The midshipman coming up with a huge interception. Actually, it was 14. It was a close run game at that point, but that was the defining moment for the Navy defense, coming up with that red zone interception just before the half. And the midshipmen cruise in the second half, coming away with a massive 31-point victory, leaving no doubt the midshipmen will retain their spot in the top 10, dominating Coach rbark and the Mississippi State Bulldogs, 38-7 the final score. We thank you for joining us on this broadcast. Looking back at the game, there were several plays that could have gone either way, and for the most part, in the first three quarters, the Navy midshipmen coming up with the advantage in those close run plays. They staked out an early lead, they extended it, and they were able to hold on for what cannot be described as anything other than a dominant victory here in Starkville, Mississippi. Navy beats Mississippi State 38-7. You can expect the midshipmen to retain their place inside the top 10. It is a clutch and key non-conference user versus user victory for Coach Ninja over Coach rbark. The first time they played in several years, and one cannot help but be impressed by Navy answering the call. They win in large fashion, 38-7. Next week, they will face off against Southern Miss, a team they crushed last year. Despite the fact that the Golden Eagles were in the top 25, this year, once again, the Golden Eagles inside the top 25. And unfortunately for Navy, even though they crushed Southern Miss, it was Southern Miss's only loss of the year, and the Golden Eagles able to win the American Western Division. So this is a revenge game coming up next week for Navy at Southern Miss this year. Last year they had them at home. It'll be a road game. And Syracuse as well, facing off against North Carolina. You will find both Navy and Syracuse playing on the following Friday night here on this Twitch channel with these broadcasters and hopefully with you avid fans. We hope you've enjoyed this broadcast of an exciting user affair. We hope you have a great weekend. Please stay safe. We hope you have a great next week. Kick its ass.